Hello, all you beautiful people out there. What is going on? This is your friend Barry coming fast with a quick Genesis video. Today, we're going to be looking at the system settings, the options that I use in Genesis. There are a couple that I recommend using if you want to just learn how to get a little bit better at the game, if you want to take advantage of a couple more mechanics in the game. So let's just go straight right into it. First of all, I've noticed that some people have had this glitch where their game just starts off in a foreign language. Some of them is in Chinese, some in Japanese. I don't know what's going on, but in case you're in that same situation and you don't know how to fix it, if you press options, this is the first screen that pops up. You go all the way to the bottom to display language. You switch it until it's English or whatever changes are. You're going to press circle to go back, and if it hasn't changed, then you're going to restart your application and then it should be fixed. So I wanted to get that out of the way. Map location, you can change it actually. You can go from like bottom right, bottom left. If you are experiencing some screen ratio issues, for example, like if your whole game isn't fitting on a screen and you can't fix it through your TV or your PS4 settings, I've heard from other people that when they switch the map location to bottom left, then the items, the active items go on the other side of it, essentially, and then you can see your actives that way. So maybe try that out. I haven't tried it out. I'm not going to vouch for it, but go ahead and try that out. Maybe that will help you if you're in that boat. But I have it in the bottom right. I do have the ping on. I do have the FPS on. That's not too important. The most important screen is right here. Okay, so you have the auto purchase. I have it turned off because I like to purchase my items in juxtaposition to the enemy team's composition and their items that they're building. For example, if they have a lot of CC, I'm going to go Medusa's armor first and foremost. If they don't have too much CC, then perhaps I'm going to go damage and crit chance, you know, like Rift Claymore on Celinda, for example. So that's why I don't have auto purchase on, because sometimes I might want quantum jumpers over, you know, Artemis's boots, for example. And getting used to this, once you learn the items a bit more, turning this off will help you a lot in combating the opposing team's composition and items. I also have auto level up off because sometimes I like to level up my abilities in various formations and various orders and not go by their recommended. For example, when I start off level 4 with Celinda in the jungle, I'm using Celinda as an example because I play her the most. I start off with 2 points into her L2 and 2 points into her R1. So her passive rather, I don't even start off in her combat role, which is her L1, until I hit level 5, because that doesn't help me farm in the jungle at all. Then auto attack, you want this to be turned off. Some people have been saying there's a glitch where it comes back on after every game, but basically what auto attack does is when you get close enough to something, you'll just start auto attacking it. You don't even have to press X. So you want to turn that off, simply because you probably don't want to aggro it. Or it also, what it does is when you press X once on something and then you just let go of it, you don't hold it down, it will keep auto attacking that. And yeah, it could be a little annoying if you're trying to switch targets on the fly in the middle of a team fight, so I just like to turn that off as well. Just be as in control as possible in the game. When it comes to targeting, I choose least HP. You can choose nearest. I choose least HP simply because I usually play melee characters, and when I attack the carry usually has the least amount of HP, so I just want to focus down and burst down the carry. Because if you choose nearest target, what might happen is you're on the carry, but then you get peeled by the tank, and now since the tank is the nearest target to you, now you're going to be targeting the tank. You don't want to do that. You want to target the carry or the assassin or whoever's the low health, high damage output character on the other team. You want to target them and burst them down. Now here's another one, a very important setting. Press R3 to pan camera. You want this to be on. Okay, this is like in League of Legends basically, where you can just move around the map and see everywhere else around the map. All you have to do is just move your right stick around, and then you can pan the camera when you have this option on. And then if you want to center back on yourself, you just press down on the stick, press down on the right stick, and it will center back onto you. And then if you want to teleport, then you just press it down again when you're centered back on top of yourself. So this is very useful because if I'm farming in the jungle, I notice that there's stuff going on in the other lane, and I want to, you know, still be farming in the jungle, but also be looking at the other lane. I could just be auto attacking the camps and then move my cursor to the side, to the lane, wherever I want, and just see exactly like how much health does the enemy have, what level are the enemy, what level are my teammates, and so on and so forth. This is very important. This is a very useful tool for getting information, and you should turn it on and start getting used to it as soon as possible, and start using it as often as possible because it's very, very useful. And then Having said that, you want to turn your camera sensitivity all the way to max, because panning this camera is very slow unless you move it all the way to max. You want it to move as fast as possible so you can get as much information as quickly as possible. Then for the skill indicator sensitivity, I also have this at max, because for example, like Zeus, when he teleports up into the air for his teleportability, he has to pan around with his camera, and this is based off of that. It's based off of the skill indicator sensitivity, so I have it at max as well. Some other skills, I don't really like aim them with the, you know, circling around with the right stick. I kind of just flick my stick in the direction where I want to aim it. I find that to be much quicker and much more useful if I have to change directions. So I just have my skill indicator sensitivity to max, but it's honestly up to you. And then I do have switch target on, which I'm not 100% sure what switch target on or off, how that compares, to be honest. And I don't want to say anything false. My guess is that it has to do with this. Okay, but I just leave it on and it works fine, so I don't know. But I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not exactly sure what the switch target thing does. I just leave it on, and it seems to work just fine for me. Okay, so those are the main settings pretty much. When it comes to audio, this is all up to you. I have vibration off. That's a personal preference. The music volume's low, so I can sound whore people, so I can hear people. When they're taking jungle boss, for example, I can hear them through the wall. So I want to have my sound effects up a little bit, but also not too much, so I don't have to hear the voice lines every 5 seconds. Can't change the controller. The commands are up to you. If you want to see how to change the command wheel, all you have to do is press X. So now you can select which commands you want from this right screen using R2 or L2, and then you can replace it here on the wheel. So you choose whichever command you want to replace. Let's say protect DPS, right? You go to protect DPS, you press X. Now you can choose from the list over here, and you can then press X, and it will swap it out. Okay? So I don't know. Let's do a random one. Thank you. There you go. And then we switched it. Okay, so that's how you can modify and customize your own communication wheel. Like I said, I hope that they add a couple more because I feel like they need it. And yeah, that's about it. And then the last one is just a redeem gift code thing. So when you're done with that, you press circle, so you save and you're back and you're done. So those are my settings, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, if you found this useful, if you found it helpful, if you think you're going to share it with a friend, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. As always, make sure you have a wonderful day. Peace.